In 2003, I was invited to go to exhibit some work at Sharjah Biennial. And I was really interested in spending time in that part of the world. I was a technician at a gallery, so I asked the biennial team if I could work there and earn some money so that I could stay longer. I was there for 6 weeks, and my task there was to train a team of Indian migrant workers to be able to hang and handle fine art. I got really interested in this thing that they left their families in India, came to the United Arab Emirates to work, to send money back to their families so that they could live more comfortable lives. Oh, and these workers, they're really sort of looked down upon. I got to know them on a personal level, so I didn't want to. For me, they didn't sort of sit in a hierarchy. They were my friends, whose stories I have listened to, and we have exchanged stories. The work I showed in 2003 was very much the sort of typical Western gallery type artworks. So I applied for a residency, and I went back to Sharjah in 2005 to investigate and to get to know these guys better, and to try and see if I could incorporate all this new knowledge into my work. During my residency in 2005, I started portraying the people I got to know in 2003. I didn't interview them. I just wanted these portraits as though they were photographs in time. And at the same time, together with a cameraman, we explored the desert. We wanted to see Dubai and Sharjah, these big cities in the Emirates, from where the cities kind of fade out and become desert. I wanted to see it from the backside, from the side that the workers, where they are in the process of constructing these big new cities and countries, and at the same time portray them. I started thinking while I made these portraits that, because it was always men, and it's always men in a certain age, and I started thinking that maybe in India there are towns and villages where there are just ladies and children and elderlies. I went back in 2009 to show a work that I was commissioned to do I call it Rendezvous. You see similar portraits of Indian workers, and now shot on video in a portrait format to focus on them rather than their surroundings. I filmed about 25 of these male workers in the United Arab Emirates. And then I went to India to portray their families, the people that the Indian workers support with the money they send back. It's normally exhibited where in one end you have these portraits of the workers, and in the other end you would have the portraits of the families that they support, and you can see the environments are completely different. All they do is that they look into the camera. So in the gallery space they appear to be looking at each other. With video, I sort of reunite them for a moment. The spectator walks around in between them, so in this space of longing and responsibility and necessity. It's a political piece of work, but it's also a humanistic piece of work. I showed them as strong people, rich or poor. They're strong people who take their responsibility as providers for their family really serious. That would be the first work that I did specifically about migration, and it marked a huge shift in my practice. I was commissioned to make this film that I called Promised Land, which was about the lives of the immigrants while they live in Calais and while they try to get to Britain. There was still this place they called the jungle, where about 1,000 immigrants lived in these blue tarpaulin huts that they had made. It was like a little village.
My name is Kamran. I am 19 years old, and 7 months I live here in this jungle. And I am from Afghanistan, one of the northwest city, Lagman. If I say I am from Afghanistan, they told us, you are the terrorist. Why I am terrorist? No, I am not a terrorist. Some people hate us. I know mostly people hate us.
We noticed how lots of journalists, they were there and they were just filming these migrants straight up in their faces, and the migrants, they didn't actually like that. They don't want to be seen. There are these laws that if they're caught in France and Britain finds out that they didn't arrive in Britain as the first European country, they have to be sent back to where they first entered Europe. So it's a very touchy thing, this thing about filming.
February 2009, when I started my journey from Afghanistan to here. And first is too bad in Iran, Turkey, Greece, Italy, Norway, Holland, Sweden, Swiss, Belgium, Denmark, Germany, and at the last, France.
We met a group of Iranian people, and we decided not to start filming them. We wanted to really get to know them and to see if they wanted to be part of the film, how they wanted this film to develop.
The important thing is going to England, and don't worry about after that. I said to my friends every day, if you go to England, lonely life is begin. It's very bad.
We spent weeks in Calais getting to know them. They didn't want to be filmed, but they wanted something to happen, and they wanted their knowledge because they knew so much. They didn't want their faces shown. We got them to demonstrate things, how they practice getting onto trucks and lorries.
پشت تکیه‌گاه که نداری، هیچی هم جلو نداری. برای چی؟ پا میگیرن، قلاب میگیرن، تو میری بالا.
تست بکنیم منم ببینم من راحت میرم بالای من.
دقیقاً بین کامیون و بار انقدر، خب؟ اوکی.
We got them to draw maps of how the trucks were parked, where they were parked, where securities are in these truck parking areas. I really wanted to film them as they were trying to get onto a ferry, and we obviously couldn't be part of a mission like that. So Promised Land also has stuff that's filmed while they're actually migrating onto the next country, and it's quite unusual and really precious. Even though the places they live are shit, are dirty, are impossible to survive in for long, I try to focus on them as human beings, as equals, not try to make it worse than it already is.
Everywhere I'm going, everyone say me, refugee, 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 refugee. Here police told us, you go your own country, because why you coming here? Maybe 1 week ago, police bring him and they'll leave him to the unknown place, and there they lock the door of the car, the police car, and they beat him. Maybe 15 times they beat him. If in Afghanistan war is finished, peace is coming. Everyone, every Afghans, all Afghan, everywhere. if they suppose they are in America, Brazil, European countries, this other Asian countries, they go back to their home country because everyone wants to live in their home country.